Hi friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome if you're new. I'm Cheryl, this is Table Full of Joy. And friends, I've got a delicious recipe for you guys today. I'm excited to share this recipe with you guys using a fun product that we were blessed with by a super good friend of ours. My husband actually went to high school with her and they've reconnected over the last couple of years, and several of the people that he went to school with, they've reconnected, and we just love it when Patty comes to town. And so she dropped by earlier this week on her way to see her dad, and she blessed us with a carton of some fire roasted green chilies that she was telling us about, and they look amazing. So this is a container of fire roasted chopped green chilies that she blessed us with. Super excited to give these a try. I grabbed some pork stew meat at the store. One of my favorite things to eat is a chili pork verde. I love that flavored combination together. So we're gonna go ahead and season this up. We're gonna put this in a hot skillet. We're gonna get our meat cooked up, kind of browned up a little bit. We're gonna add in some onions. We're gonna add in our green chilies, and we're gonna make this kind of a stew type thing. I have some cauliflower rice, or I have some regular rice, depends on what hubby wants tonight for dinner. I have not eaten a whole lot of carbs today, so if he wants to have regular rice, I think I'll be okay with that. We'll see what happens when he gets home. So let's get this pork seasoned up. Let's get this in our pot so we can get this cooking, because it does need to cook for a little bit so this meat is nice and tender. So I've got my pot heating up on the stove right here. I've got some avocado oil. We're gonna put a little avocado oil in here so we can get our pork started cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and season this pork right here in this container. So I'm just gonna open this up, and I'm gonna just give this a good season with some salt and some onion powder, some garlic powder, some cumin. And I think we're gonna go pretty simple on the seasonings because I really want those chilies to really shine through. So we're gonna season up our pork really well. We're gonna put on some, let's see, this is garlic powder and some onion powder. We want this pan to be really, really hot because I want to get a really good sear on this meat. I'm gonna put on some cumin. This cumin never wants to come out of this container, so we're gonna do it this way. Super excited about this. All right, we're gonna kind of just toss this meat all together with these seasonings, get all the seasoning on here. And then we're gonna start dropping this into our pot, just a few pieces at a time. Don't want to overcrowd it. That's one thing when you're trying to sear something, if you overcrowd it, then you're gonna end up stewing the meat, kind of like steaming it, and we don't want to do that. Then we're going to put some onions in here. So these are the green chilies that we were blessed with. I'm going to go ahead and put a good amount of these in here. I'm gonna let these green chilies and this pork just kind of sit here and stew a little bit. Put the lid on it. All right, so this has been sitting here cooking for quite a while. That pork is just super tender. I can barely touch it, and it's falling apart. Exactly what I wanted. So we're gonna make this more of a creamy chili verde. I have some spicy jalapeno cream cheese. I'm going to put a little drop of this in here. And we decided to go with actual rice tonight instead of cauliflower rice. So I have a little bit back here. It's just a frozen, it's a frozen rice that I keep in my freezer. So I'm just heating that up. So I'm going to put this jalapeno cream cheese in here. I'm also going to put in a little bit of this roasted corn that I got from Trader Joe's. We're going to add some of that in here. I think that's going to add some incredible flavor to this. That roasted flavor is going to be amazing. Alright, so we're going to give this a little bit of a stir. I'm going to let this sit here for a minute and let that cream cheese melt down. We're also trying something new. I have never tried Oaxaca cheese before, so that's going to be super interesting to shred a little of that or grate a little bit of that on top of this. We're going to put this over some rice, and I think it's going to be incredible. And I think we still have time enough for this because we still have about 10 or 15 minutes. I think I'm going to add a few of my dehydrated bell peppers to this. So I have my dehydrated bell peppers. Let's go ahead and add just a small handful of these in here. We don't need a bunch, but just a little bit. I think there's enough liquid in this, but I think we can get those rehydrated. Should have thought about that earlier, but if you have fresh bell peppers, by all means, go ahead and add those to it. And I think I might actually go ahead and put a little bit of heavy cream in this too. Of heavy cream in here.
Let's not say the crazy things we've heard some on the left say about the president and about conservatives and about Republicans and about people in MAGA. Let's just have an
This heavy cream we've been getting at Fred Meyer is just been super, super thick. I don't know what the deal is. They've been having trouble getting heavy cream, and then when I do get it, it's really, really thick. But this is just looking absolutely incredible. So we're gonna let this sit here for just a few minutes. Let those bell peppers rehydrate in there. Let that corn heat up. Let our cream cheese come to a nice melty consistency. We'll come back in and we'll grate a little bit of our Oaxaca cheese in here. And our rice is heating up right now and dinner's gonna be ready. All right, friends, our rice is done. I've got our Oaxaca cheese. We're gonna grate a little bit of this in here. Mix it in, but I'm also gonna use a little bit on the top of this because I wanna just garnish it with a little bit of cheese. We're gonna garnish with a little bit of sour cream. I've never had Oaxaca cheese, but I've heard that it is very similar to like a mozzarella kind of. So I'm excited to try this because I think this would be super fun to do a Mexican lasagna or something like that, that you want a really good melty kind of mozzarella type cheese. So we're gonna put a little of this in here, get this all mixed up, and then we're gonna go ahead and serve this up. And I'm super excited to eat this because it smells absolutely amazing. Really, really, really smells good. We'll see you guys when we get it dished up. So here's our rice. I'm gonna scoop some of this in hubby's bowl. That cheese is nice and gooey and just absolutely delicious. I'm gonna put a scoop of this on here. We're gonna do just a little bit of cheese on top because it's pretty cheesy in the bowl already. So let's get some cheese on it. All right, so here is our delicious pork chili verde. A little bit of rice. We're gonna do a little bit of Oaxaca cheese on top, just for a little extra garnish. I'm also gonna put some sour cream on the table, and we can put a little sour cream on it. But that, friends, is our delicious dinner tonight. All right, friends, happy Saturday. It is 5:30. Hubby just called, he's on his way home. I need to get dinner going, so I'm gonna get a one-pot dinner ready tonight. We are having a pasta because weekends I'll explain a little bit. Hubby and I typically eat low carb, high protein during the week. Saturdays and Sundays are a little bit different. Saturdays, he eats a bigger breakfast in the mornings because he goes and works with some friends of ours that have some property, and he needs a really good hearty breakfast to get him through the day because he doesn't usually get home. Like right now, it's 5:30, he's just coming home. He left this morning at 7:30, So he's not eaten anything since then. So Saturdays when he comes home, I like to have a little bit more substantial dinner for him to have. Sundays is basically the same thing. We fast until we get home from church on Sundays and we have lunch, and that usually is our only meal of the day. So I typically allow more carbs on the weekends than I do during the week. So I'm making a really quick, easy one pot pasta and ground beef. This should be a bake. I'm just gonna put it all in one skillet, make it super easy and really quick. It's gonna be delicious. So let's get over the pan on the stove over here. Let's get this put together so that when he gets home, we'll be able to ready to eat when he gets out of the shower. All right, so I've got a skillet here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start some ground beef in this skillet. As I said, this is supposed to be a bake. The recipe I'm following loosely is for a bake, but we are gonna go with making this all in one skillet, just because I wanna make this a little bit easier on myself tonight. I'm also making a couple of adjustments to this recipe. As I said, I'm following it loosely, but it's gonna be delicious and super, super easy. And that's what I'm going for tonight, because I want something that we can have shortly after he gets home, gets cleaned up, and then we can just sit down and have a really quick dinner and spend the rest of the evening together. Since he's been gone all day, I really want to have a chance to just spend the evening with him and not have a lot of dishes to do or a lot of mess to clean up. So I'm trying to keep this to one skillet. So everything's going in this one. It's going to be delicious. I'm going to get this ground beef started cooking, and then we're going to add some things to it. So I'm going to use beef broth in this to cook our noodles, but I'm going to put some of my better than bouillon in here. You guys have followed me for a while. You know that I love toasting my bouillon in with my meat before adding any liquid to it, because I want that flavor to really get into that meat before I add anything else to it. So we're just going to kind of mix that around in here a little bit, let that start to dissolve. All right, so for seasonings, instead of adding a whole bunch of seasonings, I have this package of vegetable soup mix. This is one we use for a delicious chicken dish that we do all the time. I'm just going to add this in here. And that's just going to give us all the extra flavor that we need for this. Get that stirred around. It smells incredible already. I'm also going to put in a can of French style green beans. I drained off most of the liquid. There's a little bit of residual, it's fine. Not super worried about it. All right, I'm also going to add in a can of cream of chicken soup. This is like a creamy beef and noodle bake. But as I said, I'm doing a couple things differently than what the recipe calls for. I will leave the original recipe in the description box for you guys if you guys want to make it that way. But I'll also leave my changes, the things that I'm doing to it. All right, so I'm going to give that a good stir. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add in my noodles. And I'm going to do roughly a half a bag. And I'm using a medium egg noodle. I'm not a big fan of the wide noodles or the extra wide. If you're a fan of the wider, extra wide, by all means, it's your kitchen, you do you. I'm just not a big fan of them. All right, I'm gonna put water in this now so we can put a lid on it and let our noodles cook. And then when we come back, I'm gonna put in some cream cheese and some sour cream and some cheese, because this is supposed to be a cheesy beef and noodle bake. So I'm gonna give this a really good stir. I'm gonna bring this to a boil, reduce it, let it sit here and simmer till those noodles are nice and tender. And once they are nice and tender, then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. Just kind of get all that down in the water. And this is gonna be delicious. You can see most of our liquid is dissolved, or it's been absorbed. So we're gonna put our brick of cream cheese in here. Just gonna plop it right down there. I'm not gonna stir it yet. I'm just gonna kind of bury it down in there. Get all those noodles up around it. And I'm gonna just let this sit with the lid on it and let that cream cheese soften up. We'll come back, we'll stir that in our sour cream and our cheese, and dinner's ready. All right, let's give this a stir. Our cream cheese is nice and soft now. I'm gonna mix that in. I think we did exactly the right amount of liquid in this, because that 3 cups was perfect. Our pasta is nicely cooked. There is no residual liquid in the bottom of our pan. So we're gonna mix in some sour cream now. I'm gonna say about 1/4 cup, roughly 1/4 to 1/2 cup, somewhere in that area, along with our cream cheese. This is, the recipe originally was called a sour cream noodle bake. So instead of a noodle bake, it is a sour cream 1-pan pasta. Essentially is what I'm calling it. So we're gonna mix all this together. And then you can use whatever kind of cheese you've got. I have some leftover Gruyere cheese, and I'm gonna use that because I need to get this out of my fridge. So you can use cheddar, you can use Parmesan, you can use mozzarella, Monterey Jack, you know, whatever kind of cheese you've got is what I would use. Like I said, I just need to get this out of my fridge. So that's what I'm gonna use. But this smells incredible. I can smell everything. I can smell that seasoning packet we put in here from the soup. I can smell the beef and the green beans, everything. That looks, and to me this looks like a homemade hamburger helper. Very, very similar to like a hamburger helper stroganoff is what I would classify this as. But it looks amazing. And we're gonna go dish this up. Thank you guys so much for joining me as we did some really fun recipes this week. Trying some new things, making some new recipes, making some old favorites for fall as we start to welcome in the fall weather around here. Super excited about fall in Oregon. It is absolutely stunning. Hopefully I can get out in the next couple of weeks and take you guys out, let you see what Oregon looks like as it's changing colors around here. All the trees and everything are changing, and it just is my favorite time of year. I absolutely love it. It just speaks change to me. It speaks new season. It speaks fresh. It speaks just everything, and I love it. I just love the way God paints Oregon in the fall. So friends, thank you guys again so much. You guys mean so much to me. I love it when we get to spend time together. If you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you a part of our YouTube channel family here. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do upload videos. Trying to get on a new upload schedule. I'll share that with you guys later. Still playing around with some days, trying to figure out between my work schedule, my YouTube schedule, all my obligations at church, and all the things. Just trying to figure out what's going to work for me this fall season. So we're going to get on a schedule, and I'll let you guys know what that's going to be here very soon. So right now, you just make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that notification so you know when we upload and when we come live. We are going to do live videos again here pretty soon. Trying to figure out what day is going to work best also for that, to get that done. So lots of things coming up. Fall is the season for change, and we're changing some things around here at my YouTube channel. So I hope you guys will stick around with me and just kind of hang on with me until I get things figured out and get onto an actual schedule of what we're going to be doing. So anyway, friends, get out there, enjoy the beautiful fall weather. Let me know how things are going in your area, wherever you're from. Let me know what the season looks like around where you are. I know I love getting to see the fall season all across the country, all the different areas, all the different colors and everything. So let me know how things are looking in your area for fall as we get going. And friends, we will talk to you guys in the next video. Have a great day and God bless.